Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and how the heck is everybody? It's good to see you. It's good to be seen by you. And, of course, let's get that out of the way. Kyle, how have you been, buddy? I haven't seen you in a fortnight or two.
Good. Yourself?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking, sir. The missus is on the mend, and we are 5x5. I'm ready to play some Traveler. And guess what? We have some more folks. I have doubled our Traveler participation. So we are welcoming in, of course, bringing back Bubba the Ship Steward. And welcome to
call myself the Ship Security. Thank you.
Ship Security. All right. And coming over, joining over from the Tuesday night AD&D insanity, of course, we have TK, aka Sir Outlier, on Tuesdays, but I'm sure he will find a different nom de guerre. And the enigmatically named Razor joining us also.
Hello, everyone.
Good evening. Good evening.
I could get this sucker set up, I hope.
I should make my first character this time, Sir Average, and see how long he lives.
If indeed he lives past character creation.
That's the important thing. Yeah, the Tonka comments that the audio is really weird. It often is on these streams from down under. It often is for the first few minutes, and then it seems to kind of find its way. Hey there, Gary.
Hello.
Any gamer named Gary must be he contacted me, and I thought, if he's called Gary, he's obviously a competent gamer.
Yeah, I think by definition, that's,
Have you got your mic working there, Gary?
I'm sorry, say again, please.
Razor.
Yeah, that's my.
We can't hear
that's
you.
my handle.
Oh, I can't hear you anyway.
Oh, testing. You hear anything?
I can hear him.
I can hear him.
Okay.
Can't hear you, mate.
Oh dear.
Might be a
Corian
client.
wants to play the R2 unit. Okay, we'll start with you then, Ricky, Sir Outlier in the other game. Okay. Your character's name is Linda Zhao, and she's female, or at least it is to start with. So,
Sure. Got it.
Because thing is, you don't get to choose your gender until you're an adult.
That's fine.
Then you can go differently if you want, but you're born what you're born as. And then as for your name, it's just what your parents gave you.
I'll change that eventually. It's fine.
You can choose to be called something else later on.
That works.
I can't hear any of you guys now. Has Bill muted me?
I'm not talking, so I promise. I was being politely quiet.
All right, I can hear you now. Good.
Yeah, I'm not muted out. Can you hear me there, GM?
Testing? Yep. Good.
Okay, thank you. Very good.
Oh, thank you, Lord Corian, Super Chat. We have a Super Chat from Lord Corian. Watch out, the javelin thrower is in the audience. I think that may have been aimed at a, no pun intended, specific player in the room. So thank you, Lord Corian, for the
Lord
super.
Corian throws $5 javelins that land and cause Tonka to start singing.
Oh God.
Oh, what have you done? What have you done, Lord Corian? What have you done to us?
It could happen.
Oh my God.
Can't be any worse than my singing, I promise.
I don't know if you haven't heard anything.
Razor, your character's name is Kinder Bud, so Qinda, Bud.
Qinda.
Bud.
Okay.
A woman.
Female. Okay.
Yep. And then the rest you roll for.
All right, what are we rolling?
Okay, so 2d6, 6 times in order for your strength, dexterity, endurance.
Well, that's a 6 for my strength. That's an 8 for my dex. Seven for my endurance. And what comes after that?
Intelligence, education, and social standing.
That's right.
Education, int, and social.
Yep.
I am painfully mediocre. Okay. My social standing is a 9.
Yeah. What were the other two?
An 8 and a 7.
8, 7, and 9.
My stats were 6, 8, 7, 8, 7, 9.
Okay, Razor, how did you go?
8, 7, 11, 7, 7, 6.
Okay. All right. Now, is this on? Yep, they're all showing up on this stream. That's good. So, we've got the rule books here. Now, I know Razor is familiar with it, but Ricky may not be. Have you done Classic Traveller before, Ricky?
I have seen,
Okay, yeah,
I've seen
so-
Traveller. I followed along with it, but I haven't read any of the books or anything.
Yeah, so we've discussed it a bit on the streams before, and Mark Miller quite openly says in recent interviews as well that he quite literally sat down with the original D&D books and he went through them to say, I want a sci-fi game. What am I going to put in it? And so that's why there's 6 stats. It's just that he changed charisma to social standing.
Unless you're burger.
Yeah, and that's why there's 3 books.
Yeah.
You know, so he just sat down and said, okay, you know, what do I do? So most of them are self-explanatory. Strength, dexterity, endurance makes sense.
Yep.
Intelligence, education, and social standing. So he gave an example in a recent interview where there was this there was a game group, and there was one player, and her character was like most intelligent and useful in the group, and would come up with all these great plans and all the rest. But she had the lowest social standing, so nobody would listen to her. And what happened is that one of the others would hear her plan, and then he'd repeat the plan, and then present it to the group, and they go, "Oh, yeah, actually, now that the social standing 9 guy tells us, it makes sense." They also played it out as because she was the sole female player in the group, so she's used to the experience of coming up with a good idea, and a bunch of men go, no, and when one of them suggests it, oh yeah, that's a great idea. So, yeah, so that's
Sigourney Weaver. It's like Sigourney Weaver in Galaxy Quest, just repeating what the computer said.
Yeah. That's my only job.
The computer had a higher social standing than her. So, yeah, so social standing as well as, it can lead to nobility and all the rest. That's how it is. It's your social class. So, some people may have experienced this in their life. If you come from a really working class background and then you go to a party with all these upper class people, you just don't feel comfortable. And however well you're dressed, they sense that you don't fit in, and vice versa, If you get from Harvard, comes and tries to live on the streets or whatever, he's going to get mugged pretty quickly. So, that's social standing. Intelligence and education. Intelligence, how quickly you pick up new ideas and so on. Education is how long you can understand it, how well you can understand them.
Yeah. Seems like I'm pretty average down the board.
Stats don't tend to change much in play. Strength, dexterity, and endurance are what gets ablated in combat, as opposed to having hit points. You lose your physical stats. You can do a training program and improve your strength, dexterity, and endurance, and you can also send away for educational materials and improve your education. But the funny thing is, you can't improve your education to be higher than your intelligence. So
Okay.
your education could be higher than intelligence at the start, right? Your teachers in school made you learn whether you liked it or not. But later on, it's just, you've reached that on your own. When you're doing study on your own, you just reach that level. So you hope for good teachers when you're growing up. Aside from that, the stats don't change much until you get old, and then they start depleting. The physical stats may deplete from age 34, and the mental stats from age 60, I think it is. It's not usually an issue because how many adventurers die of old age? So so those are the stats. The stat.
Yep, got all that.
The we've got all here. Character creation.
I was here for your traveler walkthrough as well. Your first
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool. Well, it's nice for us to explain to viewers because there might be some new ones too. Some new viewers. Okay, now it is quite technically possible to start your character now. No skills or anything, just bang, just the stats. If they choose, however, they may try to enlist in the armed and traveling forces, Navy, Marines, Army, Scouts, Merchants, and you don't have to try to enlist in other. You just you can get in automatically. Not quite automatic, but pretty close. So, Ricky, would you like to try to enlist in the Navy, Marines, Army, Scouts, or Merchants?
Would Scouts help with my dex at all?
Well, they've got different benefits. So when you go along, and improve, you roll for what improvements you can get.
What you get?
Yeah, there's a personal development table which has attribute improvements. And sometimes other skills. There's different ones, like Marines get strength, dexterity, endurance, gambling, brawling, and blade combat. And then merchants get strength, dexterity, endurance, blade combat, and bribery. Because they're merchants.
Let's try the scout table.
So it depends. That's a personal development, and then there's service skills. And then also on mustering out, sometimes your stats will go up. But scouts, okay.
Yeah.
Scouts, you need a basic 2d6 throw of 7+, and then you get a +1 if you've got intelligence of 6 or more.
Okay.
Which you do, and you get a +2 if you've got a strength of 8 or more, which you do not.
I don't succeed and get again.
Okay. So you fail to get into the scouts. You go into the recruitment office, and they turn you away. And now you roll to see if you get drafted into something. 1d6.
Oh, 1d6?
Yeah.
5.
You get drafted into the merchants. Okay. So going into the merchants in your first turn, you can do some personal skills, some service skills.
Let's work with, because personal. Personal gets me what? Let me see.
Strength, dexterity, endurance, blade combat, or bribery.
Yeah, let's work with personal skills first.
Okay, personal development. So you get 2 in the first turn. So roll 1d6.
Yep. 3.
So you improve your endurance.
Okay, by 1?
By 1, that's right.
By 1.
Okay, so for the second one, you could do personal development, service skills, or advanced education.
And I get 2 automatically, right? So let's do this time. Let's do service table. Let's do.
Yep.
All right, roll 1. All right, and that is a 5.
So electronics.
Okay.
So you get electronics. Okay, now you can attempt a commission if you want. You get a commission on 4 or more, and you get a +1 if you've got an intelligence of 6 or more.
Okay, so I do get a +1, and that's a 4 exactly. Does that help?
It makes no difference. So
Okay.
yeah, they'll give you a commission. Okay, so you become a 4th officer.
4th officer.
I'm pretty sure that's what Ripley was, 4th officer. They said in the movie.
Okay.
Become a 4th officer. Because you've got a commission, you get a 3rd skill.
Okay.
Personal
guess I'll-
development, service, or advanced.
What does advanced get me? Let's try advanced. Why not?
Yep.
All right, and that is a 5.
Gunnery.
Okay. So gunnery skill, huh? So electronics and gunnery.
You shoot the ship's
Okay.
guns.
Survival skill. Sorry, not survival skill, but survival role. Let's see if you survive this term of service. You survive on a
Sure.
5+, and get a +1 if you've got +2 if you've got intelligence 7 or more.
My int is exactly 7, and 4 + 1 is 5.
+2.
So I'm good.
Well, it's +2, yeah. So you have a close encounter with the vacuum, but you managed to survive.
All right.
You're intelligent. You went, oh, yep, I better make sure I seal my helmet, actually. So you
works.
survive. Would you like to do another turn?
Sure. I can take one more.
Okay. So that's just a straight throw of 4+.
Straight throw 4+.
Hmm.
Nope.
Nope, they don't take you.
That's fine.
That's that's good. I've seen too many old merchants in these games. I've seen merchants do like 7 turns. Okay, so
Good Lord.
you retire at the age of 22.
Okay.
It's about the only time I've had to use the aging tables, Bill, when people have merchant characters.
I wanted to go again.
Okay. So yeah, now you get mustering out benefits.
Okay.
Okay. So you get 2 rolls. So you get a roll for each term of service.
All right.
And you can have 1 roll on the material and benefits and 1 roll on the cash benefits, or you can have 2 on each, as you choose.
I can have. Oh, I see. I can either do 1 and 1 or 2. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I can either be broke.
Oh, and you get an extra 1 because you got commissioned.
Okay, so I get 3. I threw 3 then. All right.
You only had 1 term.
Yeah.
And you got 2 rolls for 1 term.
Correct. He only had 1 term, so he has 2 rolls. Yeah.
You have a total of 2 rolls.
Yeah, total 2 rolls.
No more.
1 for the turn and 1 for the being commissioned. Thank you for the correction.
Sorry.
So we're good. Okay, so I can roll.
Yep.
All right, and well, good and bad. Good news, I got a 6 for the first chart, and bad news, I got a 1 for the second chart.
Okay, so you get a low passage. You get a low passage ticket, and you get 1,000 credits. And they see you on your way. They wish you good luck with the rest of your life. After your one term.
I at least got a cool sword.
I was hoping for a gun. I was going into this being like, I just want a guy that I can shoot people. That's all I want. So, instead,
well, you can always acquire a gun later.
Yeah, instead I work with electronics and I can play with cannons. So I mean, I'll take it.
Yeah, but as I said before, in some of the streams, you guys aren't hearing that hissing, are you? My headphones.
Yes.
Yes.
There we go.
There we go. Okay.
As I said before in the streams, so regular people off the street have -5 to all weapons, unless they have specific training in that weapon. They got -5. Everyone who's done any kind of career on this has at least a 0 level in that. So you've got a significant advantage over people. You just have to actually get a weapon. But even if you're just using your fists, because you've been through some sort of recruit course. merchant marine in this case, but yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so that's Linda Zhao. So she is.
Do I have a race or anything? Because I'm human, right? I presume.
Yeah, everyone's human. So Linda Zhao, 22-year-old.
Yeah. Okay. And,
Merchant.
yeah, no
on
body armor
firm.
or anything.
4th officer. No, you
Yeah.
just got clothes, normal clothes, and personal effects.
Yep.
688.
That's what I got.
879. 1. Gunnery 1. Low passage. And 1,000 credits. There you go. Fits in a tweet. Okay. Now the patient raiser's turn.
Is there any particular service that would be desirable over others? Like, do we need anything
Well,
in particular?
Navy is always good. Navy is always good because people like pilots. What's
True.
going on with my headphones?
Okay. Well, yeah, because my first choice would have been Marines, but I can handle Navy. Let's see if they like me. Let's see. Int, no. Ed, oh yeah. No. Where am I? Oh. I think I'm going to go for Marines because I actually have a bonus to get in. I've got a strength. I have a strength 8, so I get +2, so I only need to roll a 7. And a 7 exact. So I am now a Marine. Okay. So I'm going to go. First roll, I'm going to do service skill. And got a vac suit. Come here, you. Okay. And second roll, what do I want to do? I think I'll go with service skill again. And roll a 6 for gun combat. Oops, that's fine. Okay, so up for commission. And okay, I do get the +1. My ed is 7. Let's see if I get an 8. Okay, roll a 10. So I make lieutenant. Oop. Drop my die. So let's see. I think I'm going to go with the advanced education. And I roll a 5, so that's a blade. Okay. Okay, so go up to survival, endurance. Oh yeah. So I have an endurance of 11, so I only need to roll a 4 to survive. And I roll an 11. That's a waste. So I do survive. And for promotion, social, I do not have the social, so I need a 9 to promote. And I do not. So I'm still a lieutenant. And I'm going to try a second term, so I need a 6. And I roll a 7. Okay. So term 2, which one do I want to do? Glad I got those. I'm going to try let's try the personal development. Ooh, get a 5. So brawling. Okay. Go up to, where am I? Okay, do I get promoted? I do not get promoted. They really don't like me this term. Roll a 3. And for survival. Glad that wasn't my survival roll. Ah. Roll it exact. So I do survive. Okay. The question is, do I want to go for a 3rd term? Well, first off, let me see if they make me. They do not, and I also failed to re-enlist anyway. So I will muster out after 2 terms as a lieutenant. And so let's see. I'm going to do one on the materials table. Oh, 4 or 6. Ooh. Roll a 4 for a blade. So an item. And I'm going to put 2 onto the cash table. A 5 and a 6. So that makes 70K. Okay.
Give us a mic check, Kyle. Uh-oh. Let me make sure nobody's muted.
Testing, testing.
Yeah, it says his mic isn't connected. I'm trying to unmute him. He might be having microphone issues. So we've got Todd back.
Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you fine. So Kyle is still suffering issues. Now, you guys seeing, no, and we cannot hear you, Kyle. You guys seeing Kyle, the Dungeon Delver. We're both admins of the YouTube channel. So sometimes you'll see something typed by Kyle in chat, or you'll see something typed by the Dungeon Delver in chat, but it's Kyle. And then other times it's me, but we both access the admin account. So we'll see him. It's still not letting me unmute him.
So is this where the players take over and jumping out of the bushes is a harmless bunny rabbit and we get away with the fortune?
I hope so. I hope that's what happens. I could see Kyle laughing. I think that's probably not the case.
How's that now?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay,
You are loud and clear. Excellent.
Okay, good. All right. Apologies for that. I don't know what the hell was happening. I need new headphones anyway. These ones are still under warranty. I'm taking them back. Okay. All right. It wouldn't be a proper live stream without technical issues.
Exactly.
That's why the real professionals pre-record.
It's the ouch, Kyle. Ouch.
Welcome to the world of Traveler.
Yeah, well, the ships and in Traveler work about as well. That's why you have to make a survival roll.
Yeah.
Something's always going wrong.
Somebody sold your 100 liters of hibernation gel, and they've just got you sleeping in strawberry jello.
Well, you got one like there was a Russian Navy captain who sold his ship's propeller for scrap.
Oh dear.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
The ship hadn't gone to sea in 6 months, so he thought it wouldn't matter, and But then they ordered him to ready it for sea, and that's when it got discovered.
Okay. Yeah, I put my character in the chat.
All right, thank you very much.
Excellent.
And it's
So,
oorah. I was a real life Marine, so.
Yeah, and see that stands for heard, understood, recognized, acknowledged, right? Or received, acknowledged. Isn't that what
Speaking of Marines and science fiction, here is something. The next time you catch Adam Driver in a film, and he is an accomplished actor beyond what they stuck him with in the horrible Star Wars sequels, remember that is Marine Lance Corporal Adam Driver you are looking at on the screen there. He joined up after the 9/11 attacks, and that is a very cool little piece of Hollywood trivia for you.
So he is a true Hollywood Marine then.
He is a Hollywood Marine. Follows many Hollywood actors who were actual Marines. There was Lee Marvin, Gene Hackman, and Hackman actually saw combat in World War II, which is wild.
You have to lift.
Anybody remember Captain Kangaroo?
Oh, God.
Yes, Bob Keeshan.
Yeah.
Yep, he was on Iwo Jima, Sergeant.
Yeah.
You have to list the best one though.
The best one.
The best one. There's a definitive right answer here.
Are we talking service in general or Marine?
Yes.
Okay, well, don't keep us in suspense.
Well, other than Audie Murphy?
No, Saruman.
Oh, yes. Oh, God, yes. Most definitely.
Yep. I mean, although to be fair, that guy was everywhere. He was SOE. He was. I mean, what didn't Christopher Lee do in uniform?
Really? Yeah, I like the one story they have where he was told to imagine, what happens if you get stabbed in the back, and he says, "I don't have to imagine."
He went off about the whole him dying thing, and he's like, "There's no scream when you get stabbed. There's just a dry wheeze, and all the air is forced out of your chest."
Ooh, okay.
So he's the original actually guy.
Yeah, exactly. Actually.
Yeah.
But fun.
So. Anyway,
okay. So Kinder Bud and Linda Zhao. So
yes.
when you got mustered out, you got dumped on the planet Gibson, which is it's a long settled planet that sort of self-sustaining agriculturally, but it's not very technologically advanced. It never had a lot of settlers. It's about half the size of Earth. So it's got about 50% gravity. So you got a real spring in your step here. They come and they land you at the spaceport, but the spaceport is basically a marked spot of Earth with a windsock and a warehouse next to it, and a few guys standing around in boiler suits looking bored.
Oh, so it's a class Delta.
Echo. Class Echo.
Oh, Echo. I thought Echo was just a cleared piece of land.
It is, but I figure they've got to at least have a warehouse for goods coming back and forth. The closest thing to air traffic control is local police. You have to tell them when you're taking off so that they can issue a warning over the radio for people to stay out of the way so they don't get caught in the blast. So you got dumped here because there's no rules that say that you have to be mustered out to a place you like.
Oh, no.
You just get dumped in this obscure place.
Yes, your contract came due. The ship happened to be here. Oh, we don't want you back. By the way, there's land. Go. Don't let the door hit you in the ass.
Private Ryan, you're out. Make your own way home from here.
Mm-hmm.
But there's another ship off-world coming by in a few weeks, you understand? So you've just been entertaining yourself in the meantime.
What is the tech level on this planet?
It's it's only 8 or 9.
Okay.
I'll check. Uh, 9. More importantly, it's law level 4. So you can, I've no doubt you're thinking of that. It's if you think of access to firearms, you can get them with a permit that you get locally. It's not hard to get. It just takes a little bit of time. It's a bit faster if you've got admin or bribery skill or forgery or something. The party's got a forger in an NPC. He got things moving very quickly for them. And it's also quicker if you go to the dodgy pawn shop. However, the other guys will tell you about the dodgy pawn shop guy. So you've gone on a hunting trip and you had a couple of hunting guides take you through because you don't know the local animals and stuff. You know, you're just entertaining yourselves with a hunting trip before the other ship comes. And the local guides were leading you to a hunting cabin to lay up for the night and rest and tell stories of the local land. And when you roll up to the hunting cabin, there's these guys already standing there. And one has just finished, they've got 2 ATVs, and one has just finished slashing all the tires on his ATV, on one of the 2 ATVs.
Slashing it?
Yeah. Slashing it.
Okay.
Yeah, slashing the tires. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
and in the back of the ATVs, you see packages like boxes, and they're very distinctly the kind of storage boxes that you get on spacecraft. Maybe an older kind of one, but yeah, very distinctly that kind of design, because they tend to be well padded because they get a lot of turbulence in flight and so on. So, and now it's up to you guys.
So to be clear, it's you and me together then.
Yeah. So Kinder and Linda are together. Sound like a band.
So I'm gonna look over, I guess, at her. Presumably she's looking at me, and I'm gonna look at them and look at her and look at them. And I'm just going to step behind her.
You ladies like to dance?
Don't answer that.
Steps behind the Marine.
Yeah. I just, as soon as he said that, I said, don't answer that. I asked him to check the tire pressure and things got a little out of hand. I think he thought I meant holistically, so you'll have to pardon him.
Okay. Well, how are you going to put more air in it when there's now this nice long hole in it?
Well, and that's, where we're at right now. Fortunately, I stopped him before he started on this ATV. At any rate, yes. Are we in your way? Or should we just move on?
Well, are you guys staying here?
No, we're actually we're moving on. We're just now that our one ATV is busted, we're going to have to call the rental company and continue our nature trail tour across the planet. Yes, that's what we're going to do. That is absolutely what we're going to do.
Okay.
So your hunting guides, they look at each other and kind of questioningly, and one shakes his head, and they just slip off into the forest.
Is there any kind of
Their demeanor is, I've got a bad feeling about this.
Is there any kind of psychology roll or something I can do here to see? Because I just watched the guides just peace out. So, can I see if Bill is lying?
They tipped their hats and slowly rode away.
Well, basically, you've detected PC, so
that's fair.
You detected a player character, and so to every sane person, that means danger and chaos.
Yeah, murder hobo.
That's why they're piecing out.
That's fair.
So, because like you picture it from the hunting guys, they're locals, right? They're locals, and you guys are all big and strong by their standards.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a
So
quick
these
question.
guys, well, also short and stocky, but strong, because the locals that have been here for a long time, because they've lived in half a G, they tend to be taller and skinnier. So an average person from off-world living in 1G will tend to be stronger than them and jump twice as high and all the rest. So these bunch of
John
big
Carter
strong
on Mars.
guys, and yeah, exactly. So you're these big strong guys, and they see that you've slashed the tires on your ATV for some reason, and you're instinctively, kind of glancing over to whatever you've got in your boxes in the back of your ATVs, and they found you in the middle of nowhere. They got no idea who you are, and you're all armed. And then the people that they were guiding into the forest seem to be of a similar background, also foreigners, also big, strong guys, also ex-military. And then they start conversing and that. So from their point of view, it's like, we don't know what's going on here. We don't want to know what's going on here.
Yeah. And the two newcomers are both female, by the way.
Yeah.
And I guess being in that position, two things. One, I'm not armed. Two, don't.
No, you would be armed because you're doing a hunting trip, right? So you have
Okay,
long arms. You'll have a bolt-action rifle.
That works.
Or Lee Enfield.
I'll happily, yeah, I'll happily take an Enfield. That's fine.
Hey, best bolt-action rifle of the world.
Now, what is Razor?
Still
what
in
is
use
your
in
character?
Afghanistan in 2020.
Oh yeah.
SMLE. I'll take like a jungle SMLE. That'd be fine.
Those actually weren't that good, apparently.
They weren't, but it's much better to not carry around something more than 4 feet long, because what do you do with a rifle 90% of the time?
Yeah.
You carry it. And particularly, and here's what I clarify. It's like, look, y'all don't have a ship. There's no cannon for me to work on here. Get me a ship and I'm your girl. But otherwise, like, I can't do anything for you here.
Right.
Bubba, could you get our camera equipment in the ATV that you didn't screw up and slice the tires on, so we can get on the road? It's we got a long ride to that bird watching site we have to get to.
You got it, Captain.
You guys don't happen to have a ship around, do you?
As long as there are no follow-up questions to that, no.
Well, we're looking for a ride.
I heard cameras.
So,
yes.
Linda, when you see the boxes, as a merchant, you'll be able to recognize these are really old, like really old models. it's kind of the it's the equivalent of like the old tea chests. I mean, they're not tea chests, but you know what I mean. Like, have you ever seen that? Like, they used to send things around.
Yeah.
In the days when you could choose whether you did air mail or sea mail, and if you had a lot of stuff to send, you'd put it in sea mail, and they'd put it in an old tea chest that everyone packed things in. It was the shipping equivalent of a milk crate. Everybody had a tea chest somewhere around in their house. You know, I don't know. Well, we did in Australia and the UK. I don't know about you guys.
There's steamer trunks here in the US.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're not literally that, but it's the equivalent of that. That it's obviously like 100+ years old. Which is, I mean, it's not impossible. It's not impossible to see, but it's unusual.
They're really old cameras.
Let me have a look then. I'm just gonna sidle.
No, they're old. They're antique. Captain said
that's okay. We picked the cases up on discount, and they were perfect for our gear. So we're just gonna load these in. We got it. Thanks.
Oh, I insist. I repair electronics. It's fine.
I insist you don't.
Might not be a good idea to irritate our new friends here.
No, not irritating. Just like I said, you know, it's not necessary.
Does Quinda have her blade with her? Because you got a blade when you left the Corps, right?
Yeah, I would be having it since it's definitely within law level.
Benjamin says, how about so this little guy comes on, and Benjamin says, hey, look, how about we just sit down by the fire and share something to eat and have a little chat about this, about what's going on in the world.
All right.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Worked for me.
I put down my gun, you put down your sword, and we try and kill each other like civilized people. It's fine.
All right, so
no reason for anybody to kill anybody right now.
All right.
We're all friends here. So, okay.
Right. So anyway, you're not local stock. You all just muster out, or just from off world, or what's your story?
Just mustered out of the Corps.
Hmm.
Yeah, did a couple tours, got my butter bar, and things just didn't work out.
Well, eventually, I mean, I was a Navy commander up until about a standard week ago. So,
yeah,
okay,
ship
so
came
you've got
into
two
orbit.
others here. You've got Benjamin, who's this. Where is he? Ben Joe Camden. So he's this little weedy guy, and
Is he a PC or NPC?
He's an NPC.
NPC, okay.
And there's another NPC. Her name's Jaquel. She's a little weedy woman, and she introduces herself as Doctor of Xenoarchaeology, she says.
So I was a merchant officer 1 minute, and apparently a helpless mechanic the next. So, but seriously, if you have those cameras lying around, I might be able to do something with them.
They're perfectly operational. We don't need to do anything with them. But so yeah, they dumped you guys on Gibson too. It's like a bad habit the Navy and Marines have got of mustering people out on the least. Honestly, really, have you heard of anybody getting cashiered out on a Tech World A?
Not recently.
No, it's always shitholes like this.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the space.
It could be worse. Could be worse, says Benjo. At least it's got a breathable atmosphere.
That's very true. We're not sitting around inside the remains of an iridium mine on an otherwise airless asteroid.
This is very true.
It kind of reminds me of home, actually, a little bit.
I mean, it's not a bad world. It's just, it is what it is.
Yeah. Be nice if we could get out of here, though. Not a place I want to call home.
Yeah, no, honestly, it'd be great for some gridiron football, but other than that, I'd love it if we could just get back to Asimov, or get to Asimov, rather. It's just a couple of jumps over.
That's another planet?
Yes. Is it another planet or another system, Mr. Game Master?
Yeah, it's another planet, yeah. The systems are usually named after their leading planet.
It's a planet in another system.
Okay.
So,
okay.
DM, what does the low passage get me, by the way?
You're a corpse.
It gets you frozen in the tube.
That's fair.
And hope that they've got a medic on board to improve your chances of surviving the passage.
A 6-month bath in strawberry jello.
Yes.
I feel like I may as well trade that to someone.
I think
I hope that you're awakened by someone competent and not by hell.
Yeah.
So are you folks, you think you got a way off of this rock?
I look over at the doctor. Well, we were having so much fun here in the outback. I honestly didn't haven't really stopped to think about how we're going to wrap this vacation up, Doc.
Well, we do have a means off. We just need to work on it a bit. That's all.
Right, exactly. Just as we were discussing the other night.
And that means off is 200-year-old storage crates full of cameras.
I really don't care what's in them.
There's that, and then there's, says Jack, and there's also where they came from, too. Now, so you guys will know, because you've been on the planet long enough, you guys will know that it's a volcanized world, and the parts that you're in, there's the border town is the largest town in the area of a more or less representative democracy, and that borders a nomadic area, the nomads. And the nomads claim to be the original inhabitants of the world, descended from generation ships and slower than light, low passage ships that came here a long time ago.
Okay.
You guys will know that. And so you've got the city, and then to the north is the forest where you guys are. To the west is farms. And then to the south and the east is Badlands.
So you're
which is
saying
where the nomads are mostly from.
So you're saying there's a 100-year-old hunk of junk floating around somewhere around here?
I wouldn't say floating, says the doctor.
Sleeping, let's say.
Well, it might have landed and been stripped. That's usually what they do to sleeper ships. Because they tear down the components of the ship to provide materials to build the colony. So, anyway, well, since we're looking for a ride and you guys look like you have a clue, any chance we might hook up with you?
And by hook up, you mean go down?
Join your crew.
Don't go there, Todd. Don't go there.
Join your crew as fellow members.
And that was the night we got demonetized.
I will demonstrate how to rewire your wiring harness with a boot and the back of your neck when you're asleep.
Oh dear.
So no to the dancing then.
Yeah, Bubba, I think she's saying no to the dancing. Anyway, yes. Once we once we get our overcome our current logistical difficulties that we're having with our erstwhile starship, we'll I think Doc, Bubba, you think we could get a couple more hands on this project?
Oh, fine by me, says the doc. The more guns, the better.
Oh, I'm good with
Guns,
that.
of course, being a colloquialism, we don't expect any trouble.
Oh, that's no fun.
Another Marine is always handy, Captain.
Well, that I won't argue with that, Bubba.
When the solid waste component hits the rotary impeller, that's when I come into play.
I miss playing with cannons. Y'all wouldn't happen to have like, oh, I don't know, a 40 millimeter any deck gun laying around, just would you?
No, unfortunately, I left my my auto-fed Bofors back on the starship, bolted to the deck where they wanted it.
Shame.
I just got old Lucille here. Hey, Quinda, did you name your sword?
It's not a sword, it's a blade.
Blade, sword, it cuts people. Did you name it?
No, I haven't given it a name.
Mine's named Lucille.
Lucille, interesting. What type of blade is it, if I may inquire? What type
It's
of
a
sword?
blade they gave me. It's a blade they gave me. It's a blade they gave me when they told me I couldn't kill people no more in the Marine Corps.
Okay, so it's a quote blade. You know what? Okay, you know what a traveler blade is, don't you?
He doesn't know all the stats in that, but that doesn't matter. You'll find out.
Not so clumsy or random as a blaster.
Is a traveler blade. Literally.
Oh! Yeah, mine's named Lucille.
Okay. Yeah, it's basically what Paul Hogan carried.
So Benjo is making some steaks and passing some whiskey around.
Okay.
He took the stuff that the hunting guides had taken. The hunting guides had a bag they were going to make dinner with, and they left that behind when they slipped off into the forest and left you guys to it. So he took that and he's made dinner, and he's passing that around.
Okay.
And you're in your middle of steaks and whiskey and dancing around with each other verbally. And then you hear, well, it's not a knock on the door, but something strikes the door. It's like somebody's struck a rock on the door. This is a log cabin, by the way, and you have basically a big, thick door and then a single set of shuttered windows at the front of the cabin, the same size as the door. The front of the cabin being where the clearing is, where your two vehicles are.
Okay. So is it now dark outside?
Yeah. It's a short day on this planet. It's only 18-hour day.
Okay.
Bubba draws his gun.
Likewise.
Yeah, attack check. What do we care about ammo in this instance?
Yeah, ultimately, but it's not usually an issue in travel.
Okay.
You don't get
You
into
run
a
out of,
long enough firefight
physical-
to worry about it.
Yeah, it's not usually an issue. Maybe if you had single shot things like muskets or something, but otherwise, yeah, it's not usually an issue.
Bubba turns to Quinda and says, "Get ready. Things might get fun."
I'm going to take up my rifle, make sure there is a round chambered, and stand ready. And I'm going to move off to one side, so I'm not in front of the door.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to take a position on the hinge side of the door, so when it opens, I'll have a little narrow point of view to see out of. And I just mutter to Bubba as I'm squatting down.
Oh, roll one.
I'll take-
Roll 1d6. Roll 1d6 to see does it open into the because it's at the side of the.
Oh, okay.
Front. So it might open in like that, or might open in like that. You know, like in against the wall.
Does it open in or does it open out? Yes.
I rolled a 3.
Right, yeah, so it opens in against the wall.
Okay.
So you
Okay.
can't
And I'll
really
take the side
go
opposite
behind
of him.
You can't
Oh.
you can't go behind the hinge because then if they kick open the door will smash into you.
Okay.
I mean, you can if you want, but it's,
I'll take a prone position aimed at the doorway.
I'll be beside the door.
like they've got a big wooden bench and bunks and stuff that you could, if you really want to, you can tip over and get cover behind if you're keen.
I'm trying to play dead.
I'll move to that side of the door, Kyle, but not right up against the door jamb. So if it does get kicked open, I won't get smashed by the door flying open. But as
Lord Corian says, as the R2 unit, he sets himself up to comically trip the incoming bad guys. We don't do that here. This isn't the prequels.
Unless you want a super chat to be able to do that. But anyway,
I don't have a flaming oil slick yet. It's on the list.
Yeah, I just mutter as I'm taking my position and look, just glaring up at Bubba. I got shot last time. I didn't like it. You can get shot.
Bubba's gonna take position up by the door jamb where the handle is.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you guys wait.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody want to open the door or call out to them?
We didn't order any room service.
And nothing happens. You just wait.
I look over at Bubba. Okay.
You said there were windows?
Yes, there's a shuttered window. There isn't even glass in it. It's just literally a shutter. There's a little sort of crack. There's a little crack between it, but unless it's daylight, you can't really see out through the crack because you've got at least the firelight, if not like
What are other than the fire? What lights are on in the cabin?
Well, you got lanterns. There's oil lanterns here.
I suggest we turn down the lantern so we don't silhouette ourselves if they're not friendly. We can always relight them.
You would only be able to see out if you opened the shutters because, like I said, they're not perfectly sealed, but at night time, just because there's light behind you and it's dark outside, you won't be able to see anything.
No, absolutely. Is the window on the same side as the door, or is it on a different wall?
Yes, it is. It is.
Okay.
Both the window and the door are facing the clearing where your vehicles are sitting.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. I'll go ahead and move to the door.
Yep.
And unless anybody objects, I will go ahead and start to open it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not standing in front of it. Open it up enough, and then I will do a dip, look out, and then pull back in. See if anything happens.
Okay. So roll for your roll for surprise.
9.
No, it's a 1d6. Remember?
Oh.
It's rolling for surprise.
Okay, make it a 3.
You've all got military experience, and Tunka's got some tactics. So you get to add 2 to that.
Okay, makes it a 5.
Makes it a 5. Yep. All right. So you get one round of surprise on them. So you can see that there are 2 guys, 2 figures. You can't really see much about them. 2 figures with long arms who are behind the working ATV. And there's another 2 guys behind the non-working, tires slashed ATV. If there's others, like in the forest, you can't see them at this stage. So you've got that. So you're just using that round rather than shooting.
Uh-huh.
You're using that round to observe them.
Right.
So you
Okay.
could see what you've got.
Okay.
And then they start, and you could see they go, and they start leveling their weapons at you, but they're not ready to fire just yet.
Okay.
Since soliloquy takes no time, I'm going to yell, "They're stealing our cameras!"
4 armed, hostile.
Okay. I guess declare actions then.
Yeah, I'm going to blast on them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're going to leave the door open?
Haven't closed it yet now.
I mean, at least
Okay.
while the door's open, I can take a shot. I'm prone on the floor, so. I guess I roll under my dex then.
You roll to hit would be 2d6 plus your skill level minus whatever DMs he throws at you.
Yeah. Well, my skill level's 0, so but that's an 11.
Yeah. Okay.
So I presume an 11 will work. I hope.
It should do. You don't have great visibility, but okay. So you've got a rifle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's your dexterity?
An 8.
An 8. So you've got an advantageous dexterity, so you get a +2. You get +2 with rifle. Just note that down.
Will do.
All right. They have got some partial cover, which is a -2.
So counts as
They're
that.
behind a vehicle. So in this instance, counts as that, but they might move. All right. They are at medium range, which is no modifier. And they're not wearing any armor, which is a +3. So as long as that adds up to more than 8,
Yeah.
you hit them. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you hit one. And that'll be 3 dice of damage.
Okay, so 3d6. Okay. 10, 13.
13.
Ouch.
All
that
right.
hurts.
So he cries out and then he slumps down. You don't know if he's unconscious or dead or severely wounded or whatever, but he falls down.
He's either dead or very sleepy.
All right. And Bill, you can have a go too.
Alrighty.
Well, either Bill or either Reggie, as his character's called,
That's
either
fine.
Reggie or Linda can have a go, because it's only a door. There's only so many people can fire through it at once.
Right.
Okay, so I'm basically I'm using a handgun. Is that same as or different from Kyle's needed to hit?
No, it's the same basic 8+, but then you've got modifiers. Okay, so you've got a revolver.
Okay.
What's your dexterity? Strength,
Dex is 8.
8. Yeah. So you get neither an advantage nor a disadvantage with a revolver. Okay. It's at medium range, so you get a -3 to hit, and they're wearing no body armor. That's +1. So and they've got partial cover, so it's -5 +1. That's -4. It's a net -4. So you need to throw 12.
Oh, well, it's happened before. Did not happen that time.
Blam, blam, blam with your revolver. Well, they know you're there now. Okay. Are you going to close the door now?
Hell no, they're stealing our cameras. Bubba, shoot them!
Okay, next round. So now that's the surprise round. Now your actions are simultaneous.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to keep blasting on them.
Yeah, as long as that door's open, I'll shoot.
Okay, so one of them is down. Okay, so because there's the 2 vehicles facing the doorway, only the left-hand vehicle guys can actually shoot directly at you unless one of you comes out of the doorway. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Just because of the way the angles work. Or unless one of you opens the shutters, then they can fire through the window just as you can fire out through the window. But if they stay exactly where they are, there's just that one guy who'll be firing at you. Okay, so he'll fire first. He'll fire at whoever's standing in the door. Who's standing in the doorway?
Nope.
I actually moved back inside, so I don't have anything right now. I will have to move.
Okay. Yep. So you won't be able to fire.
Is there a window close to where Bubba is there by the?
Like
by
I
the
said,
door?
you have to open. There's no window. There's just one set of windows with shutters. You'd have to spend your round opening the shutters as your action for the round. And then, of course, if you stand in the window firing, then they can fire at you as well. So who's going to be? There could be two guys. If one is like crouched or prone, and the other one's standing or crouched, then there could be two guys firing.
I'm crouched. I'm crouched in the to the side of the door.
I'm still laying on the floor. So.
Okay, so we've got so Linda's lying prone with her rifle, and Reggie is crouched with his revolver. So it'll be the same thing, the same rolls again that you need to hit.
That hits. I still need to clear an 8, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm getting better, and I'm starting to zero in on the target.
Okay, so good news, I cleared an 8. Bad news, I only got 7 for damage.
Okay. All right, so you do 7 damage. All right, you've struck him. He's also struck one of you. 1 to 3, it'll strike Bill, and no, it strikes Kinder. Okay. With his rifle, so 6. That's 11 points of damage. Okay, so you've got 6, 7 B, so 6, 7, 11. All right, comes first off your endurance. So you go boom, and you're unconscious. So he shoots you, you go oof, and you're unconscious. Your endurance is temporarily 0.
Okay,
You said if not further injured, you're going to wake up in 10 minutes with your endurance restored to halfway between 0 and your original stat. So
okay, so I'm out.
Yeah, you're out.
Okay.
So you're out. But yeah, so and at the same time, you and Bill, or you strike him, and he falls down. He's out. So now you've got 2 guys down behind a working ATV, which is just outside the doorway, and then you've got 2 guys still up behind the non-working ATV, which is on the other side, and you can only fire directly at them if you either open the shutters or if you come out the doorway. Likewise, they can't fire at you unless they move.
Bubba wants to charge out the front door shooting. My goal is to get to the front of the car and take cover.
Yeah, well, you can dash around behind a vehicle, yeah.
Okay.
And I will do the same in the next round.
I was going to say, I'm going to follow Bubba.
Okay. All right, so that your action for the round is running across. When you just be aware, you'll realize that if you run across, they'll be able to shoot at you.
Right.
As you run.
Well, I mean, I'll be hunkered down, you know. I'm going to try to give them a smaller.
My daughter wishes you to acknowledge her. She's doing something to her hair. She's dyeing it.
Well, show us the after effects.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you guys run out. As you run out, those 2 guys fire at you.
Mm-hmm.
One will fire at Reggie. That'll be a miss. The other one will fire at who else is running out? Oh, Bubba.
Razor.
Razor. Oh, okay. So it's Bubba and Razor. That's right. Running out. Yeah, and that's a miss as well. Lucky bastards. All right. Boom, 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 as you run. And then you take cover behind the working ATV. You see the guys on the other side of the ATV. So you're behind the back of the ATV, and you see the guys behind the side of the ATV, behind from the point of view of the hut, and they're just lying completely out.
Lucky bastards. Who are you kidding? I was shot.
It is largely
it's
academic.
lucky to run across the open in a field of fire and without any covering fire or anything and not get hit.
It is largely academic, Mr. Game Master, but do we know what they're shooting at us with? Is this the rifle?
Distinct crack. Yeah, it's a distinct crack of a rifle.
Okay.
You'd notice the difference if it were if it was like a machine gun, you'd hear pop, 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 pop. If it's a shotgun, you hear boom, boom. And if it's revolvers, you hear a sort of a deeper, broader sound. Rifle has the distinct crack, particularly when it's only coming from like 12 or 15 meters away.
Yeah.
It is the preferred weapon of our enemy, and it makes a very distinctive sound when fired.
Yep.
Thank you, Gunny Eastwood.
I'm here to help.
No, it's Gunny Highway.
Getting out of the way.
No, he's always Clint Eastwood. Doesn't matter what the movie is. Just like Arnold Schwarzenegger is always Arnold Schwarzenegger. It doesn't matter what the movie is.
Yeah, John Wayne was always John Wayne.
You know, his character in Gran Torino was a Korean War veteran, as was Gunny Highway. Does that mean canonically Gran Torino is the sequel to
I like to think of it that way.
to Heartbreak Ridge?
I like to think of it that way, and that finally, you know, because in Gran Torino he just buried his wife. I like to think that at some point all that reading of Cosmo had paid off, and he'd managed to settle down with a nice woman.
I would like to think so. The woman from Heartbreak Ridge, of course.
Yeah, because remember he was reading Cosmo to try to understand women better.
Yes.
That's very Marine.
All right. Well, I'm going to do something very Navy and try and plug this son of a bitch.
All right. In order to do so, you'll have to poke around the corner of the door. Poke yourself through the corner of the door. Or open the shutters.
I went out.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So you have to
yeah.
poke around the corner of the vehicle then. Yeah.
I will do so.
When you're completely behind the vehicle, you can be fired upon, but the fire cannot strike you.
Wait a second, Mr. Game Master. If I lay completely down, can I look under the vehicle and see their feet?
Yes, but they might be doing the same thing.
That's fine. I'll take that risk. I'm going to blast on their feet.
I remember I had
You read my mind.
I had a recon game master who said that the basic rule was if you can see them and shoot at them, they can see you and shoot at you.
Oh, exactly. That's very true.
Perfectly fine.
He also said there's only three kinds of fights. There's you ambush them, which means all of them die and all of you live. They ambush you, all of you die, all of them live. And there's a stand-up fight where everyone dies. I used this when I was writing Conflict, which is more of the fighting. But yeah.
Yes, indeed. And I will hopefully be the first one who thought of it. Now, are they still getting?
So if you poke around and try to shoot at them, you'll have a -2 to hit.
Okay.
Because they've got that much cover. If you just try to shoot their legs, you'll have a -4 to hit.
See, narrow targets.
Because they'll have more smaller targets.
Yeah.
Unless they happen to be lying prone and facing you. You're both lying prone and shooting at each other.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think I'm gonna take the -2. So is that the only malice I've got there?
Before you needed 12. So this time you would need 14. If you drop down and there's just their legs, you'd need a 14, which you can't get.
Right. I'm not taking that shot. I'm saying I'm just gonna stand up and take the larger shot. So do I still need a 12 then?
Wouldn't it be considered short range now?
No.
Okay.
Because of the other vehicle is a little bit further away. It's all about the angles. Because what's happened is
that's fine.
Sorry, I should have done a drawing or something. But basically, you've got that as the hut, and then you've got one vehicle here and one vehicle there. So you've come out of the doorway of the hut and then gone behind the other vehicle. So you've actually while you've come outside, you've made your distance about the same. It's sort of like you've arced around.
That's fine.
I've fired a 38.
Next time I'll do a battle map. Sorry.
I fired a 38 snub, which I'm guessing this is like the 24th century equivalent of a detective special. A lot, and past 20 feet, you're pretty much, you got to be Carlos Hathcock to hit anything.
I don't even think he could do it at beyond 20 feet with a snub.
Hey, it's 10 feet, the thing will tear your head off, but. All right, so Kyle, I rolled a 10.
Blam, blam, blam. The round hurt their feelings. Okay, and the other one behind the vehicle, what are you doing?
I do the same thing. Lean out, take a shot. I'm firing a rifle.
Yep. So you'll need the same again as you did last time.
I never fired.
Sorry,
this is my first shot.
Sorry, you'll need. Yeah. So all right. Now Kinder does not have firearm skill. Okay. Rifle. Okay. So
rifle medium range is a 0.
Yep. Do you have the good dex? No, you've got medium dex.
No.
I don't. Yeah, medium range is a 0. And they're not wearing any armor. That's a +3. But they're behind some cover, -2, so it's a net +1.
Okay, and I got a skill of 1, so I'm +2. Come on, you. Ooh, there's an 11 natural.
Excellent. Blam. Roll your 3 dice of damage.
12 points.
Whoa. All right. He passes out. Falls over. But he might have been shooting at you at the same time. He was, but he didn't hit. And the one shooting at Reggie with that was my roll. So no, that won't hit.
But does he get the bolt back through his eye?
Well, it doesn't matter anyway. He misses it. It doesn't whether it's a misfire or a miss, same result. Okay. So there's one of them still standing.
I will call out to him. Give it up. You're outgunned and outmanned.
And you hear Ballard call out, "Just chucked a grenade at them, you idiots!" You hear like this voice.
Brother's gonna open fire.
In what? Who are you opening fire at?
Whoever's telling somebody to throw a grenade.
That's just a voice from the forest. You can't see where the guy is.
Oh, well, I want to shoot the other guy behind the vehicle.
Okay, so you step out. You'll have to step out through your team. That'll expose you next round.
Yeah.
Okay, but that'll happen. That'll happen next round. All right. So, third combat round. We've got one down inside on the PC side, and we've got 3 of the 4 down on the NPC side, outside. Not counting whoever's calling from the forest, and if there's anyone else with them. Okay.
So we heard a voice coming from beyond them. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, out in the forest. Like I said, there's a clearing.
Okay.
Where the vehicles are, and then the forest starts again.
Okay.
Brother's gonna lean over to Quinda and say, "You wanna jump in the car and put it in reverse?" Put some light in their eyes.
No, the last time I did that, I got shot.
No, that was because you were standing out of the
the
sunroof.
Still, if I see somebody rearing back to throw something, I am going to shoot at him.
Okay, so all right. So this round, I presume you guys are going to fire at the remaining guy, or what? What are you doing?
Yes, firing at the remaining guy.
Since obviously he
anyone
hasn't
doing
cocked
anything different?
his weapon.
Yeah. Is anyone doing anything different?
got it.
Question: are these ATVs have any kind of armor on them?
They don't have armor, but they do have relatively thick steel on them because they're designed to be tough.
Okay.
You know,
So I expect it
more
to
like
be
more like your Land Rover than your Yaris. You know what I mean? It's
well.
If they're-
Bullet will go through either one.
If they're like a Toyota Hilux, honestly, they can take a grenade. But I did in fact roll a 12. I did in fact roll a 12.
Well, that's lucky because the guy was reaching down. The guy that you shot was reaching down onto his mate to grab something, and then you roll for your damage.
Which with a pistol is
With
2D,
revolver.
right?
The revolver does
No,
3D
3.
minus 3. 3 dice minus 3.
3D minus 3. Okay. I'm feeling good about this because I did roll a 12.
Okay, you've got a different chart than I do.
And Mr. Grenade Thrower, he's going to eat this is math, 10 points of damage.
This is the one I've got. Gary. The GDW one.
Are you? Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
from 1977 is mine.
Yeah, I've got the CD disc.
The
and
81.
It doesn't show any negatives on the wounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I blasted on him. I'm sorry, I did 9 points, not 10. 9.
Okay. He's still up.
Shit.
He's still up. All right. Does anyone else shoot this guy?
Yes.
You got another 3.
I will take a shot at him.
You need the same thing to shoot again.
Okay, I have a 9.
Sorry, I can't remember the numbers. Did that hit last? What did you need?
I actually have a +1.
Yeah,
normal.
so that hit last time. So yeah, that
Right.
You had to clear
And I
an
have
8.
a +1 for my skill, so
Yeah,
actually I
so
only need to
your
roll a
damage.
7 in this case.
Yeah,
Damage
roll your-
will be. Unfortunately, this gets spread out, but ooh, that's gonna hurt. 14.
Yep. And Bubba, you gonna roll as well. Roll to hit.
Bubba rolled a 10, and I have a 10 death.
Yeah. So you've got a revolver. You've got advantageous dexterity, and yeah, that'll hit. Okay, so 3 dice minus 3.
6 and 6 is 12. 4, so 13.
13. All right. So yeah, this last poor guy gets shredded as 3 different guys shoot him at the same time while he's reaching into his mate's pocket to get the grenade off him. So yeah, those 4 guys are all down now. And you hear Ballard call from the forest, "Goddamn nomads!" And then rustling of bushes.
I am going to let's see. I don't know what I'm going to do. I you know what? I'll take a quick peek in the back of the working ATV. Had they looted the cases yet?
No.
Okay. I have a plan for the next round. I'm assuming that takes my action for this round. So,
Yeah. Yep. What about the rest of you guys? What are you doing? There's nobody left visible anyway to shoot.
Bubba wants to loot the guy that has the grenade. The last guy shot. I want to go loot those bottoms.
Yep. So the that last the guy that was shot to death instantly by 3 people shooting him at once, he's well and truly dead. So you roll his bloodied corpse off his mate, who's severely wounded, gushing blood, and his mate had a grenade. He's wearing a jacket, and he just had a grenade in his pocket of his bomber jacket. So yeah, and it's a fragmentation grenade. You've seen them a zillion times before.
What kind of weapons did they have?
They had rifles. They're obviously locally made. They're not super high tech. They're kept in reasonably good condition, but they're obviously hunting rifles more than they are fighting rifles.
I'll grab I'll grab the 2 rifles of the 2 guys behind the car that were shot.
Yep. So you've got 2 rifles in addition to your own weapon. You've got 2 rifles and a hand grenade. And a bunch of ammo. It'll take you a few rounds to go through and sort all that out. A few combat rounds. So Bubba's looting those 2 dead guys. There's another 2, or 1 dead and 1 expiring guy. There's another 2 severely wounded guys next to the working ATV.
I want to go check the other 2 and also remove their weapons as well.
Yep.
I'm going to go back in the cabin and make sure that TK's character is stabilized.
Yep. He's stabilized. He's going to wake up in a few minutes.
Okay.
Okay. By the way, these guys that you've shot, so they're the local nomads. They're not Bakertown guys. Bordertown guys. They're the local nomads. So they're wearing more like animal skins and homespun wool and so on, rather than cotton and linen and synthetics. So they're obviously the nomad guys. But you previously saw them at the ship. So it's obvious that Ballard's doing some work with the nomad guys.
Mm.
Captain, where do you think they got these grenades from?
Oh, who knows what Ballard had? Who knows what he was able to dig up in the last couple of decades since he came out of the freezer?
Okay, so the 2 new ones, you guys will know. So Ballard's, when you hear the word Ballard, it was this guy who ran a dodgy pawn shop in town.
Well, actually, my question would have been, who is that guy? And then we will get explained.
Yeah, and that is that the same guy? Yeah, that's the same guy. Ran a dodgy pawn shop in town where if you passed the right money and if you didn't, you could even get yourself a machine gun or something. As long as you presented right. So Bubba went in and tried to get himself an assault rifle, but he presented like a federal agent because he walked in, sort of ramrod posture and high and tight, and he'd ironed his shirt and all the rest, and so probably had wraparound goggles on or something. I don't know.
Oakleys.
Too much like a federal. Yeah.
Buzz cut, high and tight, wrap around Oakleys.
Asking for an assault rifle, and Ballard didn't trust him and sent him away.
Yeah.
Because they're entrapment.
Greetings, fellow gun enthusiasts.
I've come for your weapons.
Ooh, do I have a taser for you?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you've got the smell of gunpowder, blood, vomit, and feces in the air, the smell of death. Now you have 2 dead guys because the most severely wounded one has expired.
And none of these guys are the hunters who were at the cabin earlier?
No, those guys are pissed off. They're well and truly gone. They saw trouble coming a few hours ago and got out of there.
That's fine. That's fine. It's just Didn't want to hunt the wilder people kind of scene. All right. So I'm going to tie up the two. I'm sorry, you said there were 2 wounded and 2 dead?
Yeah, now 2, yeah.
Okay. The two wounded, I'm going to make sure they're secured and not bleeding to death. I'm not a murderer.
Basic first aid, yes.
I am.
Yeah.
Well, do we have any medics in the crew?
Not as
No, we
such.
Yeah, so you don't know what to do with them.
Hey, start the breathing, stop the bleeding, treat for shock. There you go. Basic first aid.
Yeah.
Are they able to talk? Like, are they coherent enough
No,
to
they're
talk?
severely
Or
wounded. So that means that they're unconscious. They're out. Okay. By this time, Lee will wake up.
Yeah, the 2 dead ones, drag them away into the brush.
Okay,
Yeah.
drag them into and leave a dragging. You leave a drag trail and a blood trail.
You know what? When the wolves come for them, I want them to be away from the cabin.
Fair enough.
I'm going to police Brass up.
Yep.
What, just collect your brass, kids? That's always fair.
You
2
should get the
things.
Marines to do that.
2 things. One, the moment I wake up, I think my first response would be, "What did you do?" And then my second question is there a knife on any of these guys that I can grab?
Yeah, they've got regular knives that you use for everyday tasks. Not a Swiss Army knife, but a sort of 4
Well,
to 6
I'm
inch
sorry. Let
blade
me.
knife. They've all got those.
Let me clarify.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I mean, it's not that's a dagger because it's got double bladed. They've just got single bladed, but like single sided blade.
That's fine.
A Bowie knife.
Their knives are not for fighting. Their knives are for everyday use.
If I
Any
have to,
knife can be used for fighting.
let's say if I have to stab someone.
Well,
with
yeah,
it, like
Yeah.
that's the point.
Yeah.
I'll hand one of the rifles to Reggie. And go, he go, Captain. Here's some ammo too.
Thank you. I appreciate it. The revolver's a little more than harsh language at ranges like these.
Very true.
Oh, Doc, and I motion to Dr. Lady, you want to make sure the camera equipment is in good shape?
Yeah. All right. So, she goes over to the cargo containers and opens them up and has a look. And she clips them up again. She says, "Yeah, they're all in good shape."
Good, wonderful. Listen,
looks like Ballard was looking to eliminate us as well as to take our stuff.
I literally go.
Obviously, he doesn't want us to tell things about what we saw.
Yeah. Big shock. Okay. Well, he's pissed off because if he had another grenade, it would have come our way already. By the way, Bubba, did you find a grenade?
Yes, sir.
Well, keep that to hand.
So Bubba's got his pistol in his hand, and he's got a rifle slung on each shoulder, and there's a bulge in his pocket where the grenade is, and another bunch of bulges in his other pockets where all the ammo for these rifles and stuff.
I mean, he hasn't taken the grenade and hooked it by its ring to his vest.
Well, he could have if he wanted to, but as a Marine,
I will actively prevent him from doing that, up to and including restraining his hands. If I see him tying that thing off on his gear, I will not permit that.
So let's ask the $1 million question then, kids. What's in the box?
About $1 million. I mean,
Somebody
you got
wants,
shot.
What's $1?
somebody wants you dead over it. It ain't camera equipment.
No, it's not camera equipment. You got shot. I figure you get to know. So
Good, because I'm going to shoot the next asshole that lies to me over it.
And I shot somebody over it.
well, that's
I shot 2 people in boxes. I deserve to know what's in them.
Well,
All
I'm
right,
not-
I'll tell you. I'll tell you what's going on. Dr. Lady lied to us. We ended up finding a spaceship buried in the dirt. Then these guys come out acting all like this their spaceship, and it ain't. And there's 2 people on there that's frozen, think they could be criminals, and they shot at us. We shot back. We got the gold, and now you're caught up.
So you're carrying around boxes of gold on a planet where we don't care about the gold. We just want the spaceship.
Oh, we care about the gold.
Well, okay. So just to clarify, so in this game universe, there's no artificial gravity and stuff. So there's torch drives. So the only gravity is accelerating, your acceleration,
Yep.
which also means the spaceships are all tail sitters.
Yep.
Which also means if it's crashed on its side, it can't take off until you either right it completely or at least enough that you don't really care what happens to the with the backblast and all the rest. So if the spacecraft was found buried, it's probably not buried upright.
Well, that just
Probably
sounds like
on
you need a
its
bunch of
side.
people with shovels and some manual labor.
Yeah,
yeah. But see, here's
but
the
then,
thing.
but then everyone has to know about your site. So
And all things being equal, I would really like both at this point.
also, the ship is quite old, and its main reactor, they're fairly sure that its main reactor is a liquid metal fission reactor. So the takeoff might be problematic.
So what's the plan then? It sounds like we have a ship we can't use, and you're carting around more money than Carter had liver pills.
So
Well,
where are you
I have
trying
a
to get this cargo to?
Well, our pocket.
No, but to get it into your pocket, it's got to go to a location to be converted into credits. So
Well,
where?
that leads me to a question for the GM. How far are we away from
Benjo says we could sell it at the pawn shop, and then he ducks.
How many
The
people
only
try to
thing
hit
I'm
him?
going to give the pawn shop is a hot lead.
Well, I'm wondering how far are we from town? Like, are we a 2-hour drive, or are we
Yeah, it's about a 2-hour drive.
What is stopping a drive-by at the pawn shop?
Local
What is
law
stopping us?
enforcement.
Local law enforcement. It's a town of about 150,000 people.
Yeah,
and you guys are also not local, so
Fair.
Yeah, it's a city the size of Cleveland. As much fun as that would be.
Have to ask. I mean, if the guy's shooting at us, it's.
This is one of the reasons that PCs like to have spacecraft. So
Yes, to get away.
They can do that sort of thing, and then
Yes. And it's a fair question. I mean, I'm not knocking you for asking. I just, if we were in like a true wilderness frontier, I'd be like, hell yeah, finally.
Yeah, the problem is we can't prove that he was involved. All we did is we heard his voice, but we don't have any other proof.
Well,
Yeah,
But Bubba raises his hand and says, "Why can't we just go loot the pawn shop?"
again, that involves local entanglements with local law enforcement.
Can I
Understand? I'm not opposed to any of this. Just be aware, it's not going to be a completely.
I'm thinking if old Diphthong is out here in the woods, and it took him a while to get from there to here, then we should be able to get back to the pawn shop before he does. And if he ain't there to raise the alarm,
No, because
We can get it in and out.
he left before we did, so he's going to be there before us. But because it's only 2 hours away, and he knows his way better than we do. But can I make a counter suggestion?
I'm all ears.
Go for it.
I have in a metagame sense, I have a social score of 9, which I presume to be decent. Not great, but decent.
Yeah.
You don't know. They don't know me. They don't know. Is it Kirby? Kinder?
Oh, Quinda.
Quinda. That's it. Quinda.
Like
They
Quit?
don't know me. They don't know Quinda. If you give me that grenade, I think we can work some mischief. We can either A, social our way in, and then if it doesn't work out, we just drop the grenade and walk out. They happen to explode. It's our next, not yours.
Benjo says, you do realize, like, the ship is probably unguarded now. I mean, presumably these are the same guys who chased us off.
Well, shit, everybody pile on the ATV. Let's go get the ship.
That works.
Go, come on, go. I'll drive.
I wanted a machine gun.
All right.
That works.
So, okay, so
All right.
there's all right. So there's the 4 of you plus the 2 NPCs. So there's 6 in the ATV. So yeah, that's kind of piled on, but that's all right.
Somebody's hanging off the back.
Yeah. Someone's hanging on the
It looks like an Indian bus.
Yeah. Well said.
Bubba, since there ain't no radio, Bubba is singing "Mama, I'm Coming Home."
I just,
and if Lord Corey if anyone wants to chat, then Tunkel will do it for real.
yes.
Gather all of our gear, including the ammunition. Question. The rifles that the nomads are using, do they use the same ammunition we've got?
We'll just say yes. I'm not really interested in going into all the different rifles.
That's
But Kyle, these might be 7.62 by 39 versus 7.62 by 45.
54.
54. Sorry.
Yeah, and like that would make all the difference in a game session.
Yes, because I would much rather be shot by a 22 round than.
Well, I have a 22 that has a little 3 on the end of it.
It's the 3 that makes all the difference.
Well, actually, it's not the 3; it's the oomph behind it.
Yeah, it goes from pop to boom when it fires.
Yes.
All right, so you burn off back to the ship site, in the Badlands.
Right.
As you do so, as you go along in the Badlands, the sun rises once more, big and bright in the sky.
Bright light.
Rises over, rises over the rocky Badlands. And as you approach the ship, you don't see any signs of activity. I mean, obviously, a lot of the rocks have been cleared away and there's ATV tracks around. But yeah, you don't see any obvious signs of activity.
Now, quick question. You said you found 2 corpsicles on board, correct?
Correct.
Did they get revived?
They did not. There was some debate about the corpsicles.
Okay. So when you left, they were still corpsicles.
When we left, they were still corpsicles. They're probably associates of Ballard's. He's clearly not squeamish about killing people. So if they weren't associates of Ballard's, he would have disinfected the cabinets a long time ago. But I can only presume that they're associates of his. Either one of you guys know how to safely take anybody out of cold sleep?
Nope.
You push the revive button.
So that's enough.
Doc says, I know how to take them out of cold sleep.
I know. I know.
I also know how to. I know how to turn off the tubes. We could do that too, as we discussed before.
So
they
wait, you
become
know how to
permanent
safely
sleepers.
take them out of cold sleep, and you were just going to kill them?
I mean,
I didn't say I knew how to safely take them.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I know, yeah.
I mean, at
Because
this point,
it is a question of whether it's a rescue or a salvage.
and I mean, at this point, knowing their associates of Ballard, and Ballard was going to throw a grenade at us, I'm a little less inclined to be humanitarian. And
Are you sure they're associates of Ballard?
No,
That's
they're
the
wearing
kicker.
prison uniforms.
Ah,
then they sound like fun.
Well, be that as it may, we'll see what the situation is like when we get back to the ship. For all we know, one of those people or two of those people were corpses. So,
well, so how close are we going to get to the ship before we disembark?
As soon as we can see whether or not there's another vehicle near it. If there's not another vehicle near it, we will roll. Then we'll roll right up to it.
Okay, yeah. There's no other vehicle next to it. You come up to the ship, and for those of you who haven't seen it before, there's just the side of a cylindrical ship which is partially exposed. It's obviously be buried, whether it was deliberately buried some years ago or whether it crash landed and the passage of time has moved right on it. You're not sure. Probably the former. Probably was deliberately buried because the hint is that Ballard was one of the guys that was on the ship, and because he appeared from nowhere in Bordertown like 20 years ago, and 20 or 30 years ago, and has built a life for him since. So it's it wouldn't have been naturally covered up with the passage of time. That's hundreds of years, not 20 or 30. So yeah, it was probably pretty much deliberately buried, and and it's partially exposed. There's also some digging equipment there. So these guys had hired some like little diggers.
Yeah.
Little digger, like with the kind of like the not
front
the
end loader, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Excavators.
Yeah, that's not excavators. That's the word I'm looking for. That stuff's still sitting there, and there's a generator and electric lights and stuff like that, so that work can be done at night. And there's the remains of a campsite, which was this guy's campsite, because they'd camped out there, just gradually opening it up over time. There's big cargo bay doors that can't be opened from the outside, and then there's a hatch that can be opened from the outside. At the moment, that hatch is closed.
So I'll look at y'all and be like, so you want me just to start manning the equipment? And
well, okay. Nobody on the exterior. Do we want to check and see if anybody's hiding inside the vessel?
We might want to check that door for a booby trap.
Okay, go for it.
All right. What am I rolling here, Jim? Am I using my intelligence of 4 or my education of 8?
Oh, you just have a look around for booby traps. Probably tactics. Roll tactics. Like, if I were making a trap, where would I put it?
So that would be a +1, right?
Yep, +1.
Ooh, a total of 7 with my modifier.
Yeah, you don't see any traps.
Well, it looks clear to me. So,
okay.
Linda, go ahead and open up that door.
I ain't doing shit. I was just shot.
Captain, go ahead. Open up that door.
I'll open the door.
Boom.
Yeah, you open the door. There's no explosion.
How long does that stat penalty last, by the by? The endurance.
That's going to, let's see, return to full strength requires medical attention or 3 days of rest.
Okay. So my arm is still basically in a sling.
Well, no, your endurance is down. So think of the combat systems like a lot of wounding systems will have either hit locations or some wound level where you have a negative to your actions.
Mm-hmm.
And then hit points may or may not play into that. Well, in what is losing the use of a limb or having a malice to your actions, it's in effect losing an attribute level, isn't it?
No,
Right?
I get it. I get what you mean.
Like if you can't run, it's like you've lost endurance and so on. So it's abstracting that kind of tangible thing, but the in-game effect of you being at endurance 5 is it's exactly the same as if you were born with endurance 5.
Mm-hmm.
So, you don't have to go around nursing the wound or anything like that. You can totally ignore it. It's just that it won't heal up until you've had medical attention or 3 days of rest.
I've been shot and now have asthma. Great.
Yeah, you're a bit wheezy. It's whatever. It's like it's abstracted. We don't worry about the details. Not in this. Not in Traveller.
All right, y'all want to
Well,
sweep
I get, I look to my fellow Marines. You wanna sweep and clear?
Yeah, let's do this.
I'll keep watch outside.
I will likewise. Well, let's see. I think Dr. Lady should go in the ship if the heavy ship does go down. That's probably the best protected place. I'm going to go just inside the airlock and keep my ears open. I won't be visible above ground, but I'll keep my ears open.
Okay.
And I'll get behind Quinda and put my hand on her shoulder and
Okay, is the rear engine of that ship designed to look like a face, or is it just me? And you can't unsee it now.
Yeah, I
it
noticed
does.
Yeah.
the 2 green eyes,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
the mustache, everything. Yeah.
Yeah. That was my first thought, and now I can't unsee it. It's like Machu Picchu is staring at me.
Well,
Okay.
if we can salvage this thing, I say we call it the Heimlich.
You'll have
So
to
long as
change
it's not the Heine
transponder.
lick.
You'll have to change the transponder, and that's a federal crime. But you're PC. So. Okay. So 3 is where you'll be at with the airlock. Okay. So there's an entrance from the side. So this is the plan is normally a side view for you guys. It's a top-down view because the thing's
Okay.
lying on its side. So you enter from number 3.
Yep.
Immediately behind and ahead, when you come down, immediately behind and ahead of you will be water tanks. To your right will be the avionics array and the keel of ship. To your left is more hatches, and then be the payload bay. Okay, so you descend into the into the airlock space, and there's just the little red-orange emergency lights on. There's no proper. It doesn't. There's no flickering of fluorescent light or anything like that. There's just a little red-yellow emergency lights on, and there's just a low hum, which will probably be lead bismuth rotating, a coolant circulating at the back of the ship. Sorry, it's a potassium. It's just circulating at the back of the ship. And the other doors are closed. There's a smear of blood here on the ground. Remember, you guys shot a guy who was in the hatch and he dropped down. There's a smear of blood here, which leads to that hatch into the payload bay area with blood on the handle.
Do you want to open it, or do you want me to open it and you go through?
I can go ahead and open it.
Okay.
So, you'll stand ready?
Yep.
Okay, open hatch.
Okay. So you open the hatch and you see the next hatch in front of you is open.
Okay.
It's opened into the payload bay.
Mm-hmm.
You see that there's all the cargo and so on, all containers, similar to the containers that you've seen or stolen already, lying around. But you just see that red-orange light, and you see a figure lying in amongst the all that area. See, like, you know what I mean, amongst all the boxes.
Okay. Figure is not moving.
The figure is moving, and the figure is raising a long object and pointing it at you and groaning something.
Contact.
And we roll the credits.
Oh my. Okay. Well, this will definitely be an interesting point when we rejoin next Wednesday, guys. And
Okay.
I will leave it up to our esteemed game master as to whether or not he has any more slots open. We've got a pretty good group. Thank you and welcome to our new players. Glad you were able to shake free some free time, TK, and of course Razor. Welcome aboard.
Thank you for having
more
me.
Players,
I enjoy it.
More players are always welcome because, of course, people are absent and so on. And like most people, my experience with game groups is you need about 6 players just to make sure that you have about 4 every time.
Pretty much.
People have lives.
Yep.
Exactly.
When my
This actually worked out very well because I get home from work about 3:30 my time, and this starts at 5:00 my time. So that gives me an hour and a half to do whatever honeydews I got to do. And I've been looking to join a game for a while. I keep having to run the damn things.
Here you go. Here you go. We have some.
I got 2 games that I'm running right now. Of course, I'm running Mongoose second, so.
Yeah. Tell Bill about this problem of having to run games to play. He runs about 6 games with about 40 people between them.
Yeah, it's it can be a little busy. But anyway,
I finished tutoring like 10 minutes before this, so I'm good. I should be here pretty much whenever.
Classic Traveller.
Excellent.
1977. The one true Traveller. As I've said before, Traveller is kind of the town bike of game systems. She's been ridden by everyone. But, the original and the best.
Yeah.
That analogy.
The nice thing is, Mongoose kind of went back to the original in a lot of cases. So...
Wait. Hold on a second. Are you telling me that a role-playing game company went back to an earlier edition and they didn't immediately explode? The company didn't just wink out of existence. Companies can do that. They can acknowledge that an older system had its advantages. Well, my stars and garters.
Yes. Of course, they made a few tweaks, but every game
Well,
does.
yeah,
that.
I was going to ask, what's the difference between classic and mongoose?
Details.
Mongoose adds a number of details, so
Yeah.
it's a much longer skill list. And they
Well,
add
if
some
you
background
could also
stuff. So
you could also add in mercenary and high guard into classic if you wanted to.
yeah, but you
Mongoose
get
just
much longer skill lists, and then
True.
then they're at a disadvantage compared to the Navy and Marine guys who just
Right.
have a few
Well,
skills and that.
I
So
think what
the Mongoose
happened
has a
is-
longer skill list, and also they added some background things so that when you're throwing through a background, it's not just do you get promoted or do you get killed in service, but you might have met
you could
and
be
married somebody and that
injured
sort of
and
thing.
wind up with cybernetics or something like that.
Yeah, so they do a
They
few
do not
things.
kill characters.
They do a few things where, like, your character might have been blamed for somebody else's crime or something like that. So they like little plot hooks things. So that's not too bad. It helps the less imaginative game masters and players out there.
Mongoose is the traveler I'm most familiar with. Like, of the two, that is the only one I'm vaguely familiar with.
Right. Yeah, but like I say, if you know one, the other is so close you don't really have to study it.
Yeah.
Well,
It's not like
a lot
going
of
from
role
original D&D to 5th edition.
Yeah.
Hey, if you can understand OD&D, 5th edition's a cakewalk.
Well,
Really?
yeah, there is a 5th edition of Traveller, but it's like Hero 5th edition.
Yeah, that's a whole.
Somebody
basically,
somebody did actually do that where they because the joke is it can stop a bullet. Somebody actually fired his 38 or something. There's a YouTube video out there of somebody shooting a copy of Hero, which is probably the best thing you can do with it. But
it's okay if you want to mine it for ideas. It's like Miller went and decided to put everything into one book.
Do you mean pressure mine or directional mine? Oh, sorry, that's not the kind of mine you meant. Sorry.
The
Pull out
salt mines of
details.
Gallic Nor.
Yeah.
The spice mines of Kessel.
Anyway.
Yes.
Anyway,
right.
So thank you again to our participants, our game master. It was a lot of fun. I will be back tomorrow night. We will have a guest. I'm not going to reveal who just yet, but we will have a guest. We'll talk some smack about D&D. We'll have fun talking to our guests. Friday night, we'll have, of course, our usual run up, our 1 hour. We'll do a little RPG chat, maybe a little bit of open mind, open mic sort of thing, and then we're going to play some first edition Gamma World. We're going to continue our continuation of science fiction, and then we just start all the insanity over again on Monday. But I do want to take a moment, and I understand if players and our co-hosts need to scoot, but I do want to take a moment. First of all, everybody who's subscribed, because we're up to 1,283 subs on the channel, about which I am very happy. Thank you all very much for subscribing and sticking around for all the madness and the fun. And you might have noticed if you're new to the channel, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down, but at least tell me what you didn't like about it so we can change it and make it better for you and make it better for us. You can support us on Patreon. You can support us on Subscribestar. Yeah. And some folks have elected to do that, and I would like to take a moment to thank them. So a special thank you to Joshua Garlock, Lord Corion, Ricky Maru, Mobius, Kevin Reynolds, Doomsword Deathmaster, Mark Simpson, Damien247, James F. Keck, William Smith, The Dungeon Minister, Manny Wall, Mark Corey, Kevin Wood, Todd Sharp, the increasingly frighteningly named Carnivore Farmer, Rob Knows I Can't Say That, Chillis, Jeremy Rule, Bo Canora, Mikey Mank, the Sky Hernstrom, and Pete Sullivan. Thank you all very much for supporting the show. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. And thank you guys. Everyone have an absolutely wonderful rest of your evening, and we'll see you all next time.
All right.
Peace out.
Good night, everyone.